I request CA Pannaraj to share a few words. Due to time constraints, we would like to restrict the timings to 2 minutes.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Hearty congratulations to KCA team for the 35th time. They are doing another conference and it is my turn to congratulate you on this day. I have come here only to tell two points. Number one, if at all a member from an official branch in Karnataka has made it to the chairman of SIRC of ICAI, it is mainly because of the support of all of you and also KSCA. I dedicate the history of these 72 years to each one of you. But for your support, definitely I would not have got the confidence of making myself to this coveted position. Number one. Number two, I know with this position I have the greatest responsibility in these times of extreme automation. We are very fast losing our compliance practices. So by 2025, most of the jobs in our profession would be automized and we have to convert from the compliance practice to business advisory practice. So I request each one of you to gear up yourselves. By 2025, if we don't gear up today, from today itself, we would be losing all the traditional practice areas. So we have to survive in the practice also. So such challenges we have seen earlier also, but this is a bigger challenge. I request all of you to give me inputs how to widen the practice areas in the coming days, so that beyond the traditional areas also we prosper and excel and see that the resilience in the course and our members is again proved once again. And one statistics is, out of the total practicing chartered accountants, around 90% are small and medium practitioners. And they are there in Bangalore as well as in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities also. So small and medium practitioners will be the most affected people. So we shall all work together and widen our practice areas and enjoy this 35th, enjoy the congregations and conferences like this consistently without fear of the continuation of practice. So I request all of you to give your inputs. I'll share my mail ID exclusively created for this, for taking up the activities at KSCA, at SIRC also. So please give me your inputs. We are ready to implement the programs, do the programs which will help the members to widen their practice areas. This is the only area, and technology upgradation is another important area where we wish to work with. So we will work together. I am always proud to be part of KSCA, because only after BCA in the country, if at all there is an association which is either competing or working hand in hand with the institute's activities also, it is KSCA. I am very proud of KSCA. Wish you all the best in the future upcoming years also. Congratulations once again, Pramod and team, for this excellent conference of 35th annual conference at Bangalore. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights. Now, I request the dignitaries present on the dais to felicitate CA Geeta AB, Vice Chairperson, SIRC of ICAI. And she is the first lady Vice Chairperson of SIRC of ICAI. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? Ganapatraj, past president of KSCAA, to introduce our chief guest to the forum.
Good evening to dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It's a proud privilege for me to introduce Justice Sri S.N. Satyanarayana, who has retired as a senior judge from Punjab and Haryana High Court. Sri S.N. Satyanarayana, he was born in 1959, January 15th, that very auspicious day, Pongal, at Bangalore, in a middle-class family, and Sri S.K. Narsimaya and Siddhamma are his parents. His father was a central government employee, and mother was a homemaker. He was brought up with our other siblings. His early education was from SSVM School, Hanuman Nagar, and Bangalore High School, Bull Temple Road, Bangalore. He has degree from Acharya Pathshala College, Bangalore, Bangalore University in 1978. Then he completed graduation in law from BMS College of Law, Bangalore in 1981. He has enrolled as an advocate at Bar Council of India, Karnataka chapter in 1983 and did his apprenticeship in the chambers of illustrious senior counsel Sri S.G. Sundarswamy till 1989. Thereafter, set up an independent practice at Bangalore and practiced before various courts, tribunals, revenue courts, and also in the High Court of Karnataka. He also conducted cases at Civil Court and High Court in Tamil Nadu and also in Supreme Court at Delhi until 2008. During his practice as a lawyer, besides representing litigant public, he was also on the panel of several nationalized banks, State Electricity Department, Bangalore City Corporation. He was appointed as a prosecutor of customs, excise, narcotics, gold control, and other departments of the central government at Karnataka from 1990 till 2008. Besides, he was an advisor to several developers and builders in Bangalore City. In June 2008, he was elevated to the bench as judge at Karnataka High Court. Later, he was transferred to High Court of Punjab and Haryana at Chandigarh in 2020. Later, he retired on 14 January 2021 at Chandigarh. During his tenure, he has passed various judgments and he has fearlessly passed the orders, very important decisions, where he has reprimanded even the government, revenue department, and also important cases like many important cases which is to the benefit of the public, and real justice has been done at his end. He has rendered various landmark judgments. He has presided a full bench which decided rights and limitations of revenue authorities while conducting quasi-judicial proceedings in the courts of Tahsildar, Assistant Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner by interpreting revenue laws, consequently reducing inordinate delay in disposal of the disputes of the revenue courts and consequent harassment to the litigant public. So he has been a savior for all the general public by passing his various court decisions. After retirement from the bench, presently he is conducting arbitration, mediation and conciliation proceedings. Just while coming on the way, I had a discussion with him. He was the only judge who was traveling from his residence to High Court of Chandigarh by walk. Though it was a very short distance, that shows his very simplicity, how simple he is. Even in Karnataka, when he was allotted the bungalow, from there he used to walk to High Court. He is a good walker and a very simple person. I have seen him, and incidentally, he was my, he was here behind himself. We have studied together in Acharya Pathshala. So with him, ladies and gentlemen, I present before you Sri Justice S.N. Satyanarayana. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's now honor our esteemed personality, Honorable Shri Justice S.N. Satyanarayana, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka, Punjab and Haryana. I request all the dignitaries present on the dais to sir to address the gathering.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, thanks for inviting me to this function and to be part of you for this evening. In fact, the person who is solely responsible for all this is my dear friend, Ganpat Raj, who was my classmate between 1973 and 78. For 5 years, we studied together in APS College, pre-university and degree in commerce. In fact, when we were there in the college, it is not just me, all of us used to look at him as an ideal student. He was studious, never used to mess with anything, never used to mix with anybody. He and his studies, beyond that, he had no life at all. And we all knew one day he would reach this stage in life. So far as I am concerned, it is just an accident. Like, we studied together, graduated, walked out of the college together, and he took up chartered accountancy and became a successful chartered accountant. So far as I am concerned, I was always dreaming of becoming a lawyer, doing something good to the society, because no job, no fame, nothing made me feel, wanting or craving I had for that. So it's because of that I came. And incidentally, today's function, it was informed to me about a week ago, or 10 days probably, by Mr. Ganpat Raj that you will have to spend an evening with us to celebrate this valedictory function of 35th Conference of the Chartered Accountant Association of Karnataka chapter. And the reason for accepting this is I always had, I would say, a jealous respect for this profession. Let me be very clear. Like, I also took up an independent profession, which is advocate's profession, where I find there is no training, no preparation, nothing. When you complete your law graduation and walk into the corridors of the court, you are just raw. Your degree has got nothing to do with you except getting you the recognition of registering yourself as a member of member on the rolls of Bar Council of India. Thereafter, you will have to learn everything, everything. Whereas chartered accountants, even before they get registered themselves as chartered accountants, they have the privilege of having an on-job practice for nearly 3 to 4 years of their apprenticeship, which will take off at a different level. And considering the course also, it's quite tough, with about 11% pass for the entire year. As I noticed, for 2023, it is 11.09%. The standard of education is also quite high, and the goal which is set by the students to achieve that is also very high. And I always felt that, our law profession also should be to the extent of chartered accountancy, so far as preparing the students to before they enter the profession of lawyer, but it is not happening. And that may be one of the reason is large number of lawyers, graduates, they get enrolled as lawyers. Minimum 50% would not be interested in taking up law as profession. It will be jumping board for them for either politics or various other things. Unlike in chartered accountants profession, where they take it with utmost seriousness. Though your profession is very young, I would say, as I have seen from the records, 1949, the Chartered Accountants Act came into force. That's on 1st July. And it is about 74 years, 1 year or 2 years less than that of our Independence Day age. And in 74 years, you have taken such a stride from conventional accounting to whatnot. Initially, as I know, the first chartered accountant from the country was in the year 1950. I think Mr. Gokhale or somebody like that, if I am correct. Thereafter, initially you were all mainly concentrating on this accounting and then conventional type of auditing. From thereafter, you have grown so big that internationally, without the presence of chartered accountants, nothing moves. In fact, when I was sitting, somebody was telling, by 2025, most of the accounting and other procedures would be digitalized and they will not have any work. Definitely not. No digitalization will take the place of a qualified chartered accountant. No, nobody can dispense you. But on the contrary, over the year, the need for best chartered accountant would increase by every year. In fact, I was going through the records with reference to filing of the returns. As on 2023, the filing of returns is to the tune of 5 crores. But whereas the registered chartered accountants are only 3.3 lakhs. There is gross shortage of the qualified chartered accountants in this country, and more so the experienced one. Considering the globalization and opening of our economy to the world, we are in need of more from your community, and more is expected from you. So far as I said initially, I was a bit jealous of your profession for this reason. Unlike lawyers, like for 25 years I was a lawyer, most of our day is spent from 10 o'clock to literally 5:30 in one or the other court, and most of the time sitting and waiting for our court cases to reach. Whereas you would be sitting in your office, turning out lot of work, utilizing best of your time, and you also have this minimum upgradation classes and other things which go on. If I am correct, you will have to attend 90 hours in 3 years. In 3 years, 90 hours of structural and non-structural practice, training. That would upgrade you at every level. Whenever there is any improvisation, you are ready to face that. Unlike in judicial advocates profession, we don't have a system like this. It's wanting. In fact, on one occasion, when I was addressing a conference of lawyers, I did take the name of your profession. I did suggest to the Advocates Association and their chapter, which is Federation, that why can't you look at them? Theirs is not as old profession as ours. Advocates are there for more than a century now. Whereas in 70 years, the strides that you have taken, it's immeasurable. So far as training the chartered accountants, which we could not do in our profession. The wanting is always seen. Upgradation is not there. And people don't open up to the present problems, leads into chaos. Like, if a professional is up to date in the subject he deals with on day-to-day basis, it would be easy for him to attend to all the problems. Whereas, I would give some small examples of the anomalies in law. For example, you all know in 80s and 90s, the tenancy laws were so bad. Most of you at your individual level would be owners of properties or tenants, where you have seen how the litigations being flipped from civil court to rent control court, and rent control court to civil court, those who succeed, from trial court up to high court. And when once they reach Supreme Court would say, no, you are in the wrong forum, go back to civil court and start from once again from the scratch. After litigating for years together, would come back. Such kind of anomalies you don't see in chartered accountants profession. It's very clear. And even the service point of view also is far superior. And besides that, you also have the knack to enjoy your life, as I have been seeing. In my 25 years of practice as a lawyer, and thereafter 13 years as a judge, I never participated in any conference worthy of its name, where there is actual participation by the lawyers. It will be some boring subject, somebody will talk, somebody will sleep, and there is no valedictory, no conclusion, nothing. And that too with families coming together and bonding being created for the next generation. As I have seen, most of the chartered accountants, though they start as chartered accountants in this one, it becomes a professional thing, as I have seen in the case of many of my friends, whose profession is carried on by the family. Brother, sisters, children. At least I have more number of chartered accountant friends where I have seen majority of them, they have their children in this profession. And the beauty of it is some of them have even come to judiciary. The names which I can mention is, at least there are dozen judges who are on the bench as on today who are chartered accountants. One of whom was my colleague in Karnataka High Court, Dr. Justice Vinit Kothari, who is now retired and then he is doing arbitration in his native place, Rajasthan. And large number of chartered accountants have come to advocates profession also. In fact, I would say that judiciary would have got one more person, one more brilliant person from amongst you, Mr. Chaitanya Kumar. Yesterday he was here, Mr. K.K. Chaitanya, senior advocate. I had the privilege of listening to his argument when I was in Dharwad. I was presiding the bench in Dharwad where this gentleman came and argued a matter in income tax subject pertaining to some Totagars society or association. He is their standing counsel. His argument was so good. I was thoroughly impressed. And thereafter I have not met him. I have not met him anywhere outside the court hall, except when he was arguing before me. I have not seen him any time. When there was a deliberation between Chief Justice and some senior judges, including me, with reference to recommending the names to High Court, I suggested there is one lawyer who is basically a chartered accountant, and he comes mainly for income tax matters to High Court, and he is excellent. And my suggestion was seconded by at least 3 or 4 judges before whom it appears he has appeared. And I would say that it is not just a crown for himself, for all of you, because in the court he was representing your community, chartered accountants community, as a lawyer. That is the kind of recognition that you have achieved when it comes to legal matters also. Incidentally, while introducing me, it was mentioned about my senior, Mr. S.G. Sundaraswamy, former senior, he was senior advocate and former advocate general of Karnataka. His younger son, Mr. S.S. Naganand, he is also a chartered accountant. I was given to understand in those days he completed his CA at very young age in first attempt with the 26th rank, All India's rank, 26th rank. In spite of that, he chose to practice law on taxation matter side. We started. Today, he is designated senior counsel who has recognition at national level, where, I mean, in Supreme Court, he is one of the leading advocates today from Karnataka. That's your contribution. And it's nice that I was associated with so many people at personal level, and today I got the occasion and opportunity to be in the midst of you, to be part of your valedictory celebration of 35th annual function. And at this August time, I would only wish God that your tribe shall grow as apprehended by your secretary, Ms. Sujata, that after 2025, there will be a great threat to the profession because of digitalization. Nothing will happen. Nobody can take your place. Machines are just machines. They are not the brain. Brain is always with you, human beings. You control the machine. So without you, the system cannot survive. And in fact, as I said, initially what was their conventional method of accounting and auditing. Today, without your presence, nothing moves. For example, when I joined bench in 2008, there was no auditor for High Court. There was a committee where mediation center in which I was one of the director, and my friend late Justice Vishnu Sabayat was the chairman. Lot of funds were coming and we were in need of funds. Then my friend Justice Vishnu Sabayat said, brother, why not we get our books audited and then we prepare an estimation where we can project with additional funds to mediation how we can reduce the burden on the courts. For that purpose, we need a chartered accountant. Then Mr. Guru Prasad, M.V. Guru Prasad, one of your member, who happens to be a good friend of mine, I suggested his name to Justice Vishnu Sabayat. And immediately he called him, discussed, and with his help, a report was prepared. It was mainly a finance audit, which he did, submitted a report. The resultant position is we got 40% additional budget for mediation, and thanks to chartered accountants who gave that report. And thereafter, for your information, we have a regular chartered accountant conducting auditing of all the districts of Karnataka, so far as the funds which are allocated by the government for conducting alternate dispute resolution from legal service authorities, mediation center, and other institutions. With the regular audit, the funds which were allocated by the government has also increased. Again, it's because of the assistance given by the chartered accountants. So there are many things we can keep on saying, but the thing is, it is an institution which is growing and it is still at its teetering and younger stage. Your presence is required at not just our country level, global level, where you can to project our financial development. Without your assistance, it's impossible, and hope you will be the pillars of the new India when it comes to physical policies and collection of larger revenues. GST is mainly successful because of the contribution by the chartered accountants, and you continue to help the nation in all forums with which you can do. By saying few words, these few words, I thank you all for giving me an opportunity to be part of you for this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights with us on this D-Day. It's time to encourage and appreciate our behind-the-scenes talents. I request all the dignitaries present on the dais to do the honors. Firstly, I would like to call upon Mr. Satish Rai, who is the person behind this conference for making the venue to look a magnificent one, and by designing the venue in a magnificent way and making this conference to be a successful one. Can we have a huge round of applause for Satish Rai from Pratirupi? To honor our mentors who were a constant support throughout, I request the mentors to come up on the stage. CA Niranjan Prabhu, CA Sundaresha AS, CA DR Venkatesh, CA Ravindra Kore, CA Nagappa Nesar, CA Satisha Kalkur, CA Shriram SS, CA Subramanya Hegde,
Everybody, it has been our pleasure to host all the participants of the conference at White Petals Palace Ground, Bengaluru. The enthusiasm has motivated us to improve and to constantly improve. I am thankful to all of you for attending the conference. We have been fortunate to have elite speakers who addressed over here for the past 2 days. I am sure the delegates must have benefited immensely. I thank Justice S. N. Satyanarayana sir for joining us and enlightening us as the chief guest of this valedictory session. Thank you, sir. I profusely thank our guest of honor, Ms. Chaitali Panmai, Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Karnataka and Goa, whose presence has elevated the occasion. I am very much thankful to all the sponsors of this conference. Without their generous contribution, financial support, it wouldn't have been possible to organize a conference of such a scale and magnitude. I sincerely hope the sponsors were able to showcase their product and comfortably and expand their business, and we expect to see you in future. I also thank all the speakers, panelists, moderators of the panel discussions for their presentation and deliberations. I also thank the author for enriching our knowledge with the publication. I am very much thankful to the conference committee members for their continuous support, guidance, and advices, which have greatly helped towards successful organization of this conference. I thank all the branches and district associations in Karnataka for extending a wholehearted support for our conference. I acknowledge the unwavering support received from the President, office bearers, executive committee members of the association. I also thank the Masters of Ceremony, C.A. Sandhya Nagar, C.A. Sahita Helli, C.A. Samita Halli, C.A. Sanjana Revankar, C.A. Vinod Raj, Mr. Srivatsa for wonderful coordination and flow of all these sessions. I thank Pai Vista Caterers for serving us with delicious food and beverages for the past 2 days. I thank Pratirupi for this wonderful design and setup of the venue. I thank all the performers in the entertainment session for entertaining us. I also thank Purnima Printers for bringing out the souvenir and publications on time. Further, I thank the White Petals and Palace Administration for providing this hall and associating with us. On our part, we have done a sincere effort to enhance the quality of the conference, and I hope we have lived up to it. I once again thank you everyone for the contribution and making this conference a memorable one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all the dignitaries and delegates for making this event a successful one.